However, some local organizations say the unsafe camping ordinance is not a perfect approach. Sunbreak Ranch has been proposing an alternative solution. Joining us now is a co-founder of Sunbreak Ranch, George Mullen. Good evening, George. How are you?
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, first, tell us about yourself and how you got involved with helping the homeless.
Well, we've been involved with the homeless for many, many years through Rotary and such. I'm in the Downtown Breakfast Rotary Club, and we do a lot to help the homeless. But in 2016-ish area, we started getting exceedingly alarmed about what we saw happening to our homeless brothers and sisters, and also to our city. And we didn't think in 2017 when we started this that it could get much worse. And here we are 6 years later, and it's dramatically worse. This is the greatest humanitarian crisis our city's ever faced by far. And we hope that the ordinances are somewhat of a success in helping people, but we don't think they will be. It's just another Band-Aid on a massive problem that needs a real solution.
Now, I'm sure you see it firsthand. And before we get into the ordinance, I want to talk to you about Sunbreak Ranch, about your approach and plan to help with the homeless crisis.
Certainly. You want me to explain?
Yeah, so tell us about the Sunbreak Ranch.
Yeah, first, you might want to just hit one thing. When I say this is the greatest humanitarian crisis in the city's history, people really need to look at that, because in 2019, 165 homeless persons died. It's a lot of people, right? In 2022, 574 homeless persons died. That's an increase of 250% in 3 years. This is shocking, and we shouldn't be putting up with it at all. Sunbreak Ranch is geared to be a location solution, basically a large triage center to get everyone off of the streets, canyons, and parks, and bring them to a place where we can help them get to work and best help them, whether it means medical attention, it could be transitional housing in El Cajon or Oceanside, it could be a detox center. But bottom line, this situation is chaos, and it's killing our homeless brothers and sisters. And anyone that wants to continue this situation really needs to have their head examined.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of reaction to the city's unsafe camping ordinance. Enforcement just started today, and many people are saying, well, this is not a solution to housing. This is just moving the problem. So in seeing the city operate like this, just moving the problem, and to have a three-step solution, and the third step is to cite the unhoused. Your thoughts about that?
Well, ordinances, they're acting as if this is something new and exciting. All of these ordinances, which are laws, have been on the books for 100 years. There is no right to camp on city sidewalks, city parks, in the canyons. It's just become de-enforced. So now they're acting like they're doing something new. And it may be an important signal, though, that they are doing that people really are alarmed and fed up and see what's happening, and it's signaling that something must change. So they're actually taking action, but it's a minor step compared to what needs to happen. And once we establish Sunbreak Ranch, we're talking about a very large facility that's going to be a clean, healthy, safe, and secure place at all times. This is not going to be a continuation of the chaos, anarchy, and misery that's going on downtown San Diego, where I work every day, and I've seen what's happened. So again, these laws have already been on the books. This is nothing new, and but much bigger change needs to come.
Definitely a lot more change needs to come. Where are you at right now as far as establishing Sunbreak Ranch?
Well, the last 9 months have been incredible momentum. Basically, we're being asked to go out and speak into all different kinds of community groups all around San Diego City and county, and the momentum has been incredible. The people almost all get it and are joining on. The San Diego Police Officers Association endorsed us last week. If you look on our endorsement teams at sunbreakranch.com, you'll see civic leaders, most civic leaders that you know, big Democratic names, big Republican names. Our effort is strictly nonpartisan and non-political. We just want to solve the problem, help our homeless brothers and sisters, and clean up our city. I grew up here in San Diego. I was born at Sharp Hospital. San Diego was always known as an exceedingly clean city of the big cities. It's now filthy beyond recognition. We need to save our homeless brothers and sisters and clean up our city once again. This is a city for all of us, and we need to do what's right. Sunbreak Ranch is the answer to this. And the key, which a lot of people don't get, is once you establish a facility that's clean, healthy, safe, and secure, and is a bed for everyone in need, then you can return to the full enforcement of rule of law and the streets, canyons, and public parks. And that's been the big impediment. There was a court decision called Martin versus the City of Boise in 2018, And the decision said you can't criminalize a homeless person if they have nowhere else to go. And we agree with that. But once you do provide a place where they have a place to go that's clean, healthy, safe, and secure, then we can return to the full enforcement of rule of law in all of our streets, canyons, and public parks. And we don't need to do any of these Mickey Mouse things pretending we're passing a new ordinance, which are already on the books. So Sunbreak Ranch, the establishment of it, is the key. It's the secret sauce, if you will, to getting our city back and truly helping our homeless brothers and sisters turn their lives around. That's the key. And if a triage first really is the concept, in a battlefield, you don't just pick up all the wounded bodies and just throw them into a hotel room. You bring them to a triage to try and figure out what's going on with each person and help them.
Right. Well, George Mullen, thank you so much for weighing in on the homeless crisis and sharing more about the Sunbreak Ranch. We look forward to working with you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.